absolutely true. I'm going to go back to a question that I missed that says, from what I've learned, it's really important to have a foundation of coping skills before doing trauma work. How can caregivers help loved ones use coping skills to manage PTSD? Yeah, do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah. So yeah, when you're going to therapy, even trauma work or anything, when you're talking about things that are triggering, it's going to heighten your symptoms. So even after therapy, you might feel extra anxious and things like that. It's just like if you're going to physical therapy for an injured muscle, that muscle is going to be sore because you're just working it out, right? And so that's similar to when we're going to therapy, we're talking about the trauma, we're talking about negative things, we're going to be reliving things, we're going to be feeling those emotions. And so being prepared by having those coping skills. So when I feel anxious, what are the things that I do when I feel anxious? And I need to make sure that I make time for that after my therapy sessions. Um, so sometimes with caregivers, what I say is, maybe we have a binder that we keep, and we have written down all these coping skills. So then it's a go-to thing when we see someone going through a certain experience, a trigger, and they're having a certain emotion. Oh, maybe I should suggest this coping skill, or the person with the mental illness. And when we're feeling like some of those emotions, when we are triggered, sometimes, we know our coping skills, but sometimes they just don't come to our brain in the moment. Having that binder or having something somewhere that I can just read it and I can pick something. But making that time after therapy to uh, do some sort of coping skills or self-care.
Oh, I love that idea. And it seems like a nice way for caregivers and their loved ones experiencing PTSD to just talk about it. Hey, when this happens, this is what I need. This is what I'm feeling. I love that idea and having a resource book around that. Jennifer, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I guess just from a brain and behavior standpoint. So PTSD is really what happens when, after a trauma, when coping skills go awry, when these adaptive responses sort of go awry. And the way I like to think about healing is almost relearning these coping skills. So I think it's okay to not necessarily have that adaptive, response, that foundation it's perfect for you to heal. Because then it would be much easier, right? And we wouldn't have to have patience and tools in the toolbox. But I think that for the caregivers and the person you're caring for, it really is this learning of new coping skills where you're not necessarily erasing the trauma, but you're learning to sort of live with it. And that goes back to everything that Leah suggested. So